Welcome to the 932 West Randolph Project Safety Orientation. My name is Mike Ambrick. I'm one of the regional safety managers with Walsh, and I'll be walking you through it. General project information. This project is located at 932 West Randolph in Chicago, Illinois. Bathrooms and hand washing units are available on site, currently located on Randolph. Hand sanitizer is also available in each portable restroom. Parking is up to each individual person. There is no on-site parking. All emergency and compliance information can be found in the job site office. Our goal for this project, and every Walsh project, is that no one gets hurt. We want each tradesperson on the site to own their work, and we encourage everyone to be a leader. No one gets hurt is more than just a phrase. It starts with top management being involved in all aspects of Walsh's safety. We encourage everyone at all levels to help us accomplish this goal to make sure that no one gets hurt. Everyone has the right to go home in the same condition as they started that day. We own this. Take responsibility for your safety while at work. Take pride in what you do and how you do it. And look out for not only yourself, but those around you. We are all professionals. Act accordingly. Dare to lead. Everyone on the job site is a leader. Tradesmen are encouraged to lead the following: toolbox talks, stretch and flex, morning safety huddles, and writing the morning task hazard analysis. You are part of something bigger than this project. You are a part of a family. You own this. Craft Leadership in Safety, or CLS. CLS is a craft-driven program that ensures craft workers have a voice in safety and safety of fellow workers. Each week, a volunteer from each company meets with the Walsh project manager to voice any concerns and walk the project site. The Walsh project manager will also address all concerns and direct resolution.
Craft Leadership in Safety, or CLS, is a program designed to create a culture where everyone has a voice. Craft employees working together with management through ownership and communication to achieve our goal that no one gets hurt.
CLS impacts the safety of the job site because it gives the craft a chance to all get together and get out in the field, take notes, and send it into management.
By bringing all the trades involved every day, they can put their eyeballs on what they feel is a real issue that needs to be handled immediately.
CLS is important to me because it has allowed the craft another voice in Walsh's safety culture.
Our goal is to encourage our project teams to promote CLS and start implementing this important strategy on their job sites.
Nobody gets hurt here is the most important thing, and when we include that with the CLS, we make sure that we're going the extra step to make sure that people are being engaged in the safety. It's not just us telling them what to do. They're giving their input into us as well.
It is essential that craft employees work together with management in this process. The way we can make this process work is through the 5 keys of the CLS program. Key number 1, management to communicate with craft leadership.
We need to feel and engage everybody on site. This job, or all jobs, are a team effort. I'm not going to do anything that's successful without my team.
We want to make sure that we designate the time and, we really put some thought into it and make sure that what we're asking our folks to do, we all take it serious, we all take part, and we do the best we can to make sure everything, every day, is smooth, safe, sound, and everyone happy moving forward.
Key number 2, picking the right people to participate in CLS.
I think what makes you a good person to be part of this team is that you naturally want to look out for other people and you want to make sure that everyone is being safe.
CLS is for the craft. In other words, out in the field, we have electricians that come, carpenters, masons, painters, all different craft come together from the field and help us to improve our safety.
We choose one person from each company, and how we choose them is basically somebody who is engaged.
We ask, but we want that person to be consistent, be part of our safety team, our culture out here, so that we can grow acquainted with them and we get good, honest answers, good feedback.
Key 3. Give CLS members the time needed to participate.
Take a site, they're on their own to patrol throughout, up, down, all around, and put a real good eyeball on stuff.
On the CLS walk, we discuss, observe, and identify potential issues in which we present to project management.
Key number 4. Job site management to provide a venue for CLS to meet.
Every single Wednesday, which is the day of the week that we choose to have our CLS walk, we have a meeting place and all of the different CLS members meet at that spot. Me as a safety manager bring out to the CLS leader a notepad. One of the things that's in the notepad is a place for them to write action items that they have found.
Key number 5. Management to act on recommendations from CLS.
And if anything is unsafe, the CLS program is meant for them to bring it up to our attention.
Because they can tell us a million things, and if we're not there to actually pull through and make sure that what they're telling us is actually made and done, then there's no point in them telling us anything.
That's what our senior leadership is, to help promote that and say, hey, you guys are doing a great job. Thanks for putting your eyeballs on it. Thank you for bringing it to our attention. We're gonna get on this together. We don't want your words unheard.
COVID-19. If you are sick, stay home. Wash your hands frequently for at least 20 seconds, and use hand sanitizer when hand washing facilities are not available. Cover your mouth when you cough or sneeze into your elbow. Do not shake hands and maintain 6 feet of distance with others. Always wear a mask while on a project site. If your temperature is over 100.4, do not come to the site. Fill out the daily COVID questionnaire on the morning THA. Be sure to notify Walsh of any symptoms or if you plan to get a test. Follow Walsh's COVID policy for quarantine rules and return to work. Personal protective equipment, or PPE. Each person entering the project site will be required to wear the following at a minimum. Additional PPE may be required dependent upon the task. Hard hat, safety glasses, high-vis vest or clothing, work boots suitable for construction, gloves that are a minimum cut level 4, shirts with sleeves, and face coverings are required. General worksite information. All workers are required to participate in morning huddles, stretch and flex, toolbox talks, and the daily THA process. Each contractor is responsible for providing a trained flagger for all deliveries. No weapons or contraband of any kind are allowed on the site. Keep your eyes on the path. Keep walkways clear at all time for tripping hazards. Caution must be taken by workers and pedestrians alike. Subcontractors are responsible for the conduct of their employees. Each subcontractor is required to submit a site-specific safety and hazard communication plan prior to work beginning. Drugs and alcohol. Any person under the influence of, in possession of, distributing, and or selling controlled substances, alcohol, will be immediately removed from the site and barred from future work on Walsh projects. prescription medication is allowed, provided that it is contained in its original package and does not hinder your ability to work safely. Walsh has a zero tolerance for offenders. Emergency notification and evacuation. 3 blasts of an air horn will be used to evacuate the project site. The foreman shall keep an accurate count of their manpower throughout the day. Employees will report to their foreman once safely outside the site. Do not re-enter the site until instructed to do so by Walsh or local emergency services. This project's evacuation meeting spot will be at the southeast corner of Randolph and Sangamon. Notify Walsh immediately if 911 is called. Active shooter situations. The most important thing to do in this situation is to call 911. Give the dispatcher all of the available information, including a description or last known location, etc. Remember, run, hide, and fight. If it's possible, try to run and or escape the area. We want to leave our tools or belongings behind and get out of that area as quickly as possible. The second option is hide. This can be done in a bathroom, office trailer, under a truck, or anywhere else you can hide away from the situation until it's safe to escape. The final option is fight, and this should only be as a last resort. Don't be afraid to use objects around you as weapons during that fight. Accident, near miss, and injury reporting. All incidents, regardless of how small, must be reported to Walsh immediately. A formal incident report must be submitted prior to the end of the shift. Subcontractors shall maintain their own first aid kits near each work operation. Subcontractors are responsible for transport and payment for medical treatment of their employees. Walsh has set up a clinic for Walsh employees only. It is the responsibility of each subcontractor to arrange for medical treatment of his or her injured employees. Anti-harassment policy. Lewd, obnoxious behavior will not be tolerated on site. Harassment of any kind will not be tolerated on site. Violations of any type may lead to disciplinary action up to and including termination. Be courteous when dealing with the public. Any acts of harassment shall promptly be reported to Walsh Project Management. Hazard Communication Program. All contractors are required to have on file in the Walsh office a copy of their company's Hazard Communication Program. This shall include safety data sheets for all products brought on site, an explanation of hazard material labeling system. Walsh project specific safety data sheets are available at the Walsh site office or online at the following address: silica, mold, lead, and asbestos. Oh my. If mold, lead, or asbestos are discovered on a project, inform Walsh and it will be professionally abated. Do not remove it on your own. A silica exposure plan shall be submitted to Walsh prior to starting work. Dustless tools should be used when possible. Each subcontractor is responsible for creating their own plan. This includes silica plans, mold remediation plans, asbestos abatement plans, lead abatement plans, as required by OSHA. Dry sweeping will not be permitted. Concrete construction. Employees working with concrete shall be adequately protected from the hazards of concrete, including chemical burns and silica dust. Formwork shall be designed and erected so that it is capable of supporting all vertical and lateral loads without failure. Formwork stripping areas shall be demarcated to prevent unauthorized entry. No employees shall be permitted to ride a concrete bucket or table. Rebar shall be protected in a manner to prevent impalement hazards. Masonry construction. A limited access zone shall be established whenever a masonry wall is being constructed. No other employees shall enter that zone. All masonry walls over 8 feet shall be adequately braced to prevent overturning and/or collapse. This is to remain in place until permanent supporting elements of the structure are in place. A silica exposure plan shall be submitted to Walsh prior to starting any masonry work. Each subcontractor is responsible for creating their own plan. Excavations. Excavating contractors are responsible for following all safety rules, including OSHA, state regulations, Walsh, and/or client-specific rules that may be more stringent. Daily pre-excavation check sheets must be completed by the excavation subcontractor. Excavation contractors are required to identify their competent person to Walsh. The competent person must be present during all excavating operations. All open holes, trenches, and excavations shall be clearly identified and maintained in order to alert employees public of their presence. Excavations continued. All excavations 5 feet or greater must be protected from collapse. A ladder must be used when excavations are deeper than 4 feet. All soils will be classified as Type C unless proven otherwise. Cleanup of the roadway is a responsibility of each vehicle leaving. Excavations continued. Each subcontractor is responsible for obtaining a dig permit and locating underground utilities. Walsh policy requires hand digging or hydro-excavating within 10 feet of a known utility. Walsh must be notified prior to digging. Cranes. Use of cranes must be communicated and coordinated with Walsh prior to use. A crane survey must be completed for each crane prior to mobilization. Equipment is to be inspected daily prior to use. A written daily inspection must be submitted to Walsh. Operators must have a valid training certification. Cranes continued. Operators shall not hoist improperly rigged loads or loads that exceed the capacity. All rigging must be inspected prior to use and used under the supervision of a competent person. The swing radius shall be barricaded where caught in or struck by hazards exist. The crane signal person and riggers shall be adequately trained and qualified. The crane must not operate within 20 feet of overhead power lines. Loads require a tagline when conditions warrant. Heavy equipment. All equipment must be inspected before each shift. All equipment users must be trained in how to safely operate assigned equipment. Workers shall be alert when working around equipment for blind spots and struck by hazards. Seatbelts are always required to be worn while equipment is in use. Discipline policy. Documented disciplinary procedures will be filed if workers violate Walsh, OSHA, or client-specific project rules. Fall protection or immediate danger to life or health violations will result in immediate discharge from the job site. All other discipline will follow the progressive 3-strike rule. Daily Task Hazard Analysis, or THA. THAs are required daily from each subcontractor. THAs must be reviewed with crews and signatures from all crew members are required. If new hazards become apparent, the THA must be updated. THAs should be turned into the Walsh Superintendent daily. This is a living document and should be updated as needed. Ladders and stairs. No metal ladders will be allowed on the project. 3 points of contact shall be maintained at all times while using a ladder. A good point of reference is to keep your belt buckle between the two rails of the ladder. This will prevent you from falling off. Never stand on the top step or highest rung. An A-frame ladder should never be leaned against the wall to be climbed. Keep stairs and stair landings free from accumulated debris. Ladders should be inspected prior to each use. Keep the top and the bottom of the ladder free from material and debris. Ladders and stairs continued. Lean-to and job-made ladders must have rails extending 3 feet past landings and be secured. Step ladders must be fully extended and locked into place. Placement shall be on stable surfaces. Employees shall not straddle or stand on the ladder's top 2 rungs. Ladders shall be inspected routinely by a competent person. Scaffolding and bakers. Subcontractors must have a competent person on staff while erecting and dismantling scaffolding. A guardrail must be installed after 6 feet of height on a scaffold system. This includes toe boards. The base plate and toe plates must be installed as required by manufacturer. Mud sills shall be placed to assure footing and protect existing flooring. The use of concrete cinder blocks as mud sills is prohibited. Scaffolding and bakers continued. Screw jacks must not exceed 12 inches, unless allowed by the manufacturer. OSHA compliant planking must not overhang less than 6 inches or more than 12 inches. Proper access must be maintained to all scaffolds. Climbing of cross bracing is forbidden. All personnel erecting or working on scaffolds must have adequate training. Aerial boom lifts. Proof of training must be provided prior to starting work. Fall arrest systems must be used in the basket of an articulating boom lift. All lifts must have guardrails in place at all times while the lift is elevated. Capacity of lifts must be posted and not exceeded. This includes personnel, tools, and material. All lifts must be inspected for defects before each use. At no time may the user stand on the top or mid-rail to gain additional height. Scissor lifts. No climbing or standing on the rails will be permitted. Feet must remain on the deck of the scissor lift. Inspect the unit prior to each use. Be aware of the weight capacity. This includes personnel, tools, and material. Check the floor for holes or other obstructions before moving. Fall protection. Anytime a worker is exposed to a fall greater than 6 feet, they must be protected by either a guardrail or personal fall protection. Anchor points should always be overhead. Proper leading edge/sharp edge retractables are required. Fall protection equipment shall be inspected before each use. Roof work. Only roofers are allowed to use pennant flagging as a mean of fall prevention. Fall protection continued. Guardrails must be maintained as originally erected. A top rail must be placed between 39 and 45 inches. Mid-rails shall be placed at a height of 21 inches. Toe boards at a minimum of 4 inches in height are required. Wire rope guardrail shall not be used as an anchorage point unless they are proven to be the proper strength for anchor points by an engineer. Subcontractors shall not enter unprotected areas with a fall potential of 6 feet or more. Walsh supervision must be notified immediately if any guardrails are missing or damaged. Contractors are responsible for protecting fall hazards created through their course of work. This includes demolition, saw cutting, etc. Electrical safety. Subcontractors must use ground fault circuit interrupters, or GFCIs, for protection against shock or electrocution. Monthly testing by an electrical subcontractor must be conducted on all GFCIs and documented. Cords should be inspected prior to each use. There should be no cuts in the cords, missing ground plugs, etc. Generators must be equipped with ground fault circuit interrupters or GFCIs. Electrical safety continued. The electrician will provide temporary lighting in common areas. Each trade is responsible for task-specific lighting. All known or suspected stored energies, this includes electrical, pneumatic, hydraulic, etc., must be released and locked out prior to work, especially during demolition. A lockout-tagout program must be submitted by all subcontractors prior to working in these areas. Fire safety. Compressed gas cylinders must be secured to prevent tipping. Oxy and acetylene cylinders must be stored on a fire-rated cart or separated by 20 feet of space. Cylinders shall have their caps installed when not in use. Flammables must be stored outside the building in accordance with OSHA regulations. Fire extinguishers are located throughout the job site. However, contractors who are performing hot work must supply their own fire extinguisher. Hot work. Hot work permits must be filled out before work begins. These are required for each operating shift. Firewatch persons must be designated, trained, and have no other duties. Firewatch must remain for 30 minutes after work is complete. Contractors conducting hot work must provide their own extinguishers. Flash screens or curtains are required when other trades are exposed. Remove combustibles and wet down the area before starting hot work. Housekeeping. Housekeeping is everyone's responsibility and should be continuous throughout the day. Work areas, stairways, and exits must be kept clear at all times. Utilize the provided cans and gondolas to dispose of garbage. This includes food garbage. A clean site is a safe site.
Welcome to the Walsh Group New Hire Quality Orientation. Today we'll cover what quality means to our company, our expectation, and your responsibilities as it fits into our proactive quality culture. It is important that you understand how quality relates to the success of the work that we do and why that is important to the Walsh Group and our clients. At the Walsh Group, setting the highest standard of quality is one of our company's core values. At Walsh, quality is a proactive approach to prevent issues from occurring, to ensure projects are built per our quality policy, right the first time. In order to be the builder of choice for our clients, our teams dedicate themselves to delivering a superior product for every project. Walsh's quality program is modeled around a three-phase system. It starts with planning out the work on paper before the work begins, then setting an initial standard of workmanship and continuously following up on the project to assure compliance. Simply put, plan the work, work the plan. As a professional craftsman, your responsibility is to do the job right the first time. Furthermore, quality means doing it right when no one is looking, and that is what we expect out of each of you. So why should we focus on quality? Quality work improves our client's satisfaction, our safety, our schedule, and costs. It eliminates unnecessary safety exposures from rework. Producing high-quality work will establish trust and reliability with our project owners, leading to repeat business. It maintains project schedule and reduces delays. And quality reduces the need for rework, which equates to keeping construction cost within budget. Remember that quality is not about being good enough, better than, or less than. Something is either built correctly or it is not. At the Walsh Group, we have many initiatives to help ensure that we build it right the first time. Quality is communicated daily to our workforce through daily quality discussions. Your workday will start with completing the Safety Task Hazard Analysis, THAs. Next, you'll have a quality awareness discussion for the immediate task at hand. Many of the errors we make or the substandard work we produce are caused by the lack of proper planning. During the quality discussion, ensure you understand the work plan, quality hold points, know the approved materials to use, and have the proper tools and equipment. Another tool we use is what's called the good catch. It means for each of you to speak up and be proactive about safety, quality, or operational issues, and to stop incidents from occurring. Sharing our lessons learned through good catches helps promote more strategic approaches and provide recognition and reward. Work plans are essential to the success of what we do. Work plans are a valuable tool that lay out the requirements and steps to construct the work properly with the right materials, tools, and equipment in a safe and effective manner. Engineers, superintendents, and quality professionals work together to develop work plans during the preparatory phase to ensure that we're ready to build our work right. Work plans provide transparency to the client, management staff, and you for all aspects of the operation. Each foreman is expected to have and utilize their work plans in the field as a discussion and reference tool. During your work activities, there are times in which the work needs to be inspected or materials tested before we proceed to the next step. These are called hold points. Hold points are mandatory checkpoints in which a work element cannot proceed prior to approval by the client or quality inspector. During work plan reviews and daily quality discussions, hold points should be discussed so that the team knows when works need to be inspected before moving on, and so that notification can be given to the necessary parties. It is vital to the success of the project that hold points are not overlooked and that works are not covered up until they are inspected or tested and approved by the client or quality representative. This will drastically reduce the amount of rework on a project and improve our clients' satisfaction. As a responsible craft worker, it is your duty to understand and achieve the quality requirements of your works in a safe and effective manner. We are all part of the quality team, and we all have the responsibility to deliver to our clients a final product, meeting all of the requirements of the plans and specifications. At the Walsh Group, we all have the authority and responsibility to stop unsafe acts and stop non-conforming work from occurring. This stop work authority empowers all workers to stand in the way of a deficient work product or unsafe practices, whether it's your work and crew or the work of another crew or subcontractor. It's your duty to report items that don't look right or that aren't done per the work plans and specifications. Speak up and discuss with your supervisor so we can stop the rework. The success of our quality control program depends on each and every one of us and how well we do our individual jobs and daily tasks. Quality starts with you. We are here on this project as the builder of choice, the employer of choice, to set the highest standards for ethics, quality, and safety. Your professional craftsmanship will make this project a reality and a lasting source of pride and accomplishment. Remember, as a team, we are committed to building projects together safely. We are going to build it once, and we are going to build it right. Dan Walsh believes quality is the only legacy we leave our customers, and we are committed to delivering on his ideal. Thank you for your time and attention. If you have questions or comments about your role in the quality program, discuss them with the project quality control manager or supervisor.
This completes our job site orientation. Please ensure that you have filled out all the required safety documentation as provided. You will receive a job site orientation sticker, and that should be affixed to your hard hat. If you have any questions or concerns at any time, please do not hesitate to reach out to any of the Walsh field management staff. Thank you and be safe.